Greetings, mind crafters, and welcome to an exciting Minecraft discussion today. My name is Dr. Kimberly Quinn, and I am super elated to, this has been in my head for a while actually, to talk about to young adults, and also if somebody's a non-traditional student, how to talk with my professor, because this is the time, right? Lots of young adults and seasoned adults are going back to school, and sometimes, especially with a first year, somebody new to school, even if they're non-traditional, it's a whole new world. It's just a whole new world, and this relationship with the professor can have them, confused as far as what to do. So I thought we'd have a talk about it. So I have double creds here, by the way, because I've been teaching as a professor for almost 14 years. Loved as close to every second of it as is possible. It's my niche. I just love young adults, and they know that, and I tell them. I actually just told them, this was our first week at Champlain College. I just told them Monday and Thursday, this is, we actually have a daughter who teaches third grade, and she loves teaching her third graders as much as I love teaching college. And it's just like you have your niche. If we switched, I'd be dog tired after one day. Instead, I love children. We have 5. That's my other credential. But the thing is, I'm on my purpose, I guess is the best way to say it. So my other credential, equally, if not more solid than a doctorate in cognitive psychology, is that my husband and I have 5 awesome young adults, all of whom have graduated college. So I really, really get it. I get it on the parent end, and I get it from listening to young adult. Well, I guess that is the parent end, listening to young adults, and also my students. So here it goes. So I guess I would say, number 1 is to know that we are on your team. Again, my faculty friends where I teach, we're all really good people, really, really. It's a high majority. I can't speak for everybody. There might be a prickly someplace somewhere. Not where I am. My faculty friends are amazing, such good people. Many of us are parents ourselves. Some are even grandparents. And so we're very, very approachable. So try to just have that in your mind, that we are really good people and that we are on your team. It's not like we are the, rival high school football team, or we're ready to get our faces painted to go grab the win. Something's making me itch out here. Go grab that win. It's not like that. We're on your team. And so, okay, so that's the first one, is we are on your team. We're super approachable, usually. I can't speak for everybody. Most of us are in it for a reason, right? We love it, for the most part. Definitely I do. Okay, number 2 is be on time. Be on time for the meeting the meeting time. And this is true in life in general, because this is really more for you than us, because punctuality says something, just like any behavior says something. So when you're punctual, it says, and whether this is a job interview or internship interview or whatever, meeting with your professor, meeting with a date, it says, I value your time as much as I value my own. And being late says the opposite. We're not saying you can't blow a tire or something like that, but that should be fluky. Somebody who's chronically late, Oprah even did a show on this once, may have an underlying arrogance problem. It might be something else, but there's some kind of unconscious something that isn't valuing the other person's time as much as your own. So being on time is a message of, I respect you and I respect me. Enough to leave a little early if it's raining, whatever like that. So it's, I respect you, I respect me. And then, because we do teach people how to treat us, and that's very important. So the next one is, don't wear sweatpants. Might sound super simple, but you'd be surprised. And again, this is also more for you than us. It's not that we care if you're in sweatpants as much. It's that it's another message. Whatever we choose to do with our life minutes, behaviorally speaking, we are sending a message, and it's an outer expression of an inner of what's going on the inside. And so it doesn't mean to wear a tuxedo or a formal gown. It just means be put together. Just be neat and put together. Run a comb through your hair, kind of be put together. Because again, we teach people how to treat us. So especially if you're nervous, if you're feeling nervous and you dress again decently. We're talking about decently. It can be shorts and a polo shirt or whatever. I don't want to get into all who wears what, but just put together. not all wrinkled and things like that. It says it's also an expression of self-respect. And if you're not feeling as confident, if you dress a little bit, looking again neat and clean and put together, you'll feel more confident. That's just the fact, Jack. All right, so what do I have next? Don't wear okay. So we had know that we are on your team. Be on time. Don't wear sweatpants. Keep it real. I know I can really only speak for myself, and I've also had a lot of exposure with other faculty, obviously. Some of which, some of us are, in addition to being colleagues, we're good friends. Our families hang out and everything. So I've really gotten to know, some just really good professors. And so you want to keep it real and just, just speak it to us as much as you're comfortable with. If you're a little nervous, maybe your first year and you're coming straight out of high school, or again, you're a non-traditional adult who hasn't maybe ever been to college, or you were and it was 20 years ago and you're nervous because of that reason, or whatever reason it is that you're nervous, your first generation college, definitely good to come see us. And if you're a little nervous, just say that, gee, professor, I'm a little nervous, or maybe you don't even know why, but I'm just got some butterflies going on, maybe even their bats amped up a little bit. It's just like, best practice to just tell us, because again, we're human beings and we can really understand and get it. And maybe you could be a first generation situation. It could be maybe you're diagnosed with something, maybe you've got some sort of limitation or hearing, situation or sight situation, or maybe it's none of that. And you're nervous about what the expectations of the class. Maybe it's you're coming out of high school and you don't want to admit it because everybody's kind of expecting you to be an adult in 2 seconds, which we know doesn't really fly. And you miss your dad's homemade chocolate cookies and your golden retriever. I definitely miss my golden retriever every time I go anywhere. And maybe it's, who knows what it is, but just tell us, because you'll benefit from just sort of putting it all out on the table. Okay, good. And then, I think I forgot to write be focused, but that's okay. We're going to add that in. So 4.5 before we get to 5 is be focused, because it's easier. And again, this isn't about us. This is about you. The whole point is all on the student here. Especially if you are nervous, go ahead and write the 3 things you'd like to ask. And maybe you have some definites you want to ask, maybe some maybes. You see how the meeting goes. Write that stuff in an index card, piece of paper, put it in your pocket. There's only one thing. You might want to write it down anyway, just in case you clam up, and then you can say, excuse me, professor, I'll be 1 second. I wrote this down, and we definitely respect that. Do what you got to do for your own wiring. I mean, it's just how it is. Okay, so then we had 4.5, and then be open to our suggestions. More than likely, this is not your professor's first rodeo. So if we come up with tutoring or a time management workshop, I know on our campus at Champlain, we have something called Smart Space, and I'm guessing probably most colleges and universities out there something, similar that's maybe called something different, but basically it's academic support. And then there's one-on-one tutoring, there's group stuff, there's online stuff, there's all kinds of different things you can take advantage of if you need help with time management. Also, there's all different workshops. There's a counseling center. I can't imagine there's a college or university across the country that doesn't have a counseling center to go to. And I'd say, if you're not sure, march yourself right over there. No matter what it is, if something inside you is saying, I may need to speak with somebody, just do it. Just totally do it. You can't really go wrong walking over to a counseling center and telling them what you got. You can't go wrong with that. Okay, and then number 6 is ask questions, or also have us repeat ourselves. If we get pretty excited, again, speaking for myself, I get super excited. I have students in and out of my office all day long. I'm in a wonderfully high traffic spot, kind of right out of the stairs, the elevator, in one of our busiest buildings as far as classes go, and I absolutely love it. And most of us are in it because we love it. Just like our daughter who teaches 3rd grade, she loves it. And so I enjoy getting to know the students. Sometimes they come in with this and that. Maybe it's a roommate issue. Maybe they're having a hard time making friends. You can say that to professors, You don't have to, you can say that. I wasn't able to get this in, or I was just nervous. I did get it in, but didn't do my best, or I I got it in, but can I just tell you I'm super homesick and I'm having trouble with my roommate, and she's a neat freak and I'm a slob and I don't know what to do about it, or whatever, and just say maybe that's why I didn't do my best, or maybe it's something bigger deal going on, and it's up to you if you choose to disclose, but it might be helpful for you. So okay, so ask questions and ask us to repeat anything, so that you leave feeling 100% secure and confident with how the meeting went. Not everything may be resolved. Like, let's say you have a roommate issue and we directed you to the housing people. It may not be fixed, but the meeting went well because you didn't know what to do before you walked in, and now you do. And you have a name and you've got a plan, at least a preliminary plan to get it figured out, or the registrar, whatever it is, or the counseling center. So, but you want to be feeling good. You don't want to leave like with a stone that's not been flipped over. Whatever you've got, just blah, you'll be better off. And then lastly, say thank you. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate it. And I know we will say the same thing back. I love when students come, and I'll say thank you for coming. And I praise their effort for communicating. In general, I've already done it. We've had 2 days, and when they actually come in the office physically, and even when in the first week when they email me with seemingly small questions to them, but as again, if you're a first year, first year, even more so, maybe, or if you're non-traditional, but you're communicating, like, we love that because prevention is the best medicine, as they say. Kind of a silly cliche, but it kind of fits there. It's better to prevent something than also to be unnecessarily anxious. I don't think anybody enjoys being anxious. So if you can fix that, stop that by just shooting a quick email or coming in to see us, then why not? About a citations, about this, about that. I tell them no matter what the question is, you're not bothering me. I'm happy to be here, happy to answer it. And if I don't know the answer, I can find you somebody who does. So, okay, and then lastly, the student-professor relationship. I also just said this to my students this week in person. Thankfully, I'm so glad we're back in person. I can't even tell you. I'm an in-person person for sure. The student-professor relationship is way, way, way different than the student-high school teacher relationship. It's just so different. I'm not going to say one's better than the other. That isn't the point. For all the hardworking, good-hearted, amazing superheroes that are teaching middle school and high school, we're all in it to win it, right? So that isn't the idea at all. It's just different, because taking that big leap to college, is especially if you're coming, if it's a traditional sense of coming, it's a big leap no matter what. But if you're coming like age-wise, you're coming out of high school and that mentality of high school, taking a big leap to college, it's different, And again, I have this talk with my students because I don't have all first years, but the high majority, probably close to, 85 to 90%, probably are first years at this point, this semester anyway. No, usually. And so the high school teacher, often when they say, I'd like to speak to you after class, at least back in the day, it was like, and we talk about, I actually used to, when we were turning things in hard copy and paper, when I first started, like a way long time ago, almost a decade and a half ago, I would not use red pen. I'd use purple or green or something more pleasant, because when I went around the room, it was, what's your experience with red pen? It was 100% negative, just, wrong, bad, mistake, and now we're turning in things online. It's a little bit different, but it's a shift in dynamics, because the student-professor relationship is also partially professional, which can be difficult for 17, 18, 19-year-olds to get. But the idea is we're trying to guide you. We are educating the whole student. When the student walks in, the brand new backpack and all this stuff, it's not just the student who walks in, it's their whole self who walks in. Where they landed in the birth order, whether they grew up in an urban or a rural environment or a suburban environment, different country, it's all of it walks in. And statistically speaking, not everybody's gonna have a happy home life, so there's that. And there's just, we have first gen, we have a variety of wiring and differences. It's just all of it, right? And you might be athletic, you might be artistic, you might meet, and then there's all the different learning styles, blah, 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 blah. But the point is that the whole student walks in, and this is a big, huge life stage. Each life stage has something to bring and give, and something like sort of a gift that the life stage gives us. It's very Eric Erickson, I guess, where we also have kind of like a, I don't want to say obstacles, not the right word, but sort of like a growth experience. Each one has kind of like a message, like a quiz or something that we learn. And we take the big leap to college, you're figuring out who you are, you know, and you know, and if you finish in 4 years, like many do, but not everyone. Another conversation I had with students, I forget what the average time. It's like 5 point something, maybe it might be. Anyway, it's not 4 years. So, you know, many finish in 4, but not everyone. And so we have that talk. And the point is that your professors, you can have all these conversations with your professors, because it's an ongoing relationship where you've got 1 foot in childhood and 1 foot in adulthood. And you're making that leap into young adulthood, on your way to becoming a professional young adult, doing something you're interested in, hopefully, like passionate about, on your purpose, contributing to the world and making it a better place because you were in it, making a difference. And so we have this gift of witnessing all that. And I get so choked up at graduation. I love the first day because of the buzz, and graduation like bookends. And I get so choked up because I can, seeing them as first years, and I don't see them as much, except when they come in for internship supervision or questions. It's just like, whoa. So that was my other thing. So this is a professional relationship. So sometimes students just come in because they want to show me a cool golden retriever video. And then by the time they're juniors and seniors, also sometimes sophomores actually, they're interested in research opportunities. They're interested in internships again. And then many, because I'm in psychology, and it's kind of pretty automatic that you're headed to graduate school. That starts in the spring, and often they get right on it because they're super excited. They start to kind of channel the avenue from a more general idea of psychology as a first year. And then now they're like, I want to go into social psych. I want to do something with music therapy or mindfulness. And that's why they usually come to me, is the well-being oriented programs. And so we sit and we go through it all. And then sometimes they'll reach out to me afterwards. It's happened a bunch in the last couple months. And can you write me a recommendation, professor? Can you? I've had several gratitude notes lately, which is just so sweet. And so the point is, this is you want to have, when you walk in that first time to your professor, you want to walk in knowing that this is the beginning, potentially, right? Because it's also how we click and gel. For me, I just love them all, but it depends. There's some things that depend, and just know that it's sort of walking in the door as a first step to what has the potential to be an amazing, lifelong relationship. So that's what I got for you. All right, this is Kimberly Quinn signing off from my back deck with little Giovanni taking a nap right next to me. Have a mindful day.